Hello everyone, this is Taryn with Wonderfully Made Handcrafting. Today I have another Bible study review for you from Crossway. Now previously I did a review of Calling Circes that Meet Me in the Bible. I will kind of show the differences between these two. This is Lydia Brownback, and I picked the Esther one, The Hidden Hand of God. Her Bible studies are called Flourish Bible Studies. And so I'll show you a little bit of the differences here. Obviously we have a spiral bound right here, which makes it a little bit easier to fill out stuff and whatnot. You get a little bookmark with this as well. And hers are situated where obviously there was an intro that I went through, but also she goes through like how to observe stuff, interpret the scripture, and apply it. And so that's kind of how this Bible study is planned out. There are 8 weeks. I have not gone or finished through the whole study, but she also has a toolkit in the back that is helpful for maps and timelines and just different kind of pieces that will help you walk through this study. So that is what this one looks like. If you want a more in-depth look, I can link the video that I did for this in another, down in the description. But this is what a week looks like that's not filled out. So this is week 7. And so you have the whole scripture right here, which is nice because you can take notes in it. And then you have your observe section, your interpret, and then application. So that's kind of what that looks like. And let me show you this new one, or new to me. Lydia actually has quite a few of these Flourish Bible studies. As you can see here, she has Judges, Esther, Job, Jonah, Habakkuk, Luke, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, James, and 1st and 2nd Peter. They all have some beautiful covers. There's also a page back here that shows them. I just love how they look. One thing that would make it easier if this was spiral bound like the Meet Me in the Bible ones, but I think either I could spiral bind it myself with my new cinch machine, but I probably will just keep it the way it is. So anyways, this is broken up into 10 weeks of in-depth Bible study for women. It is nice. It has this crease right here, so it can fold right back and lay flat. It has practical application questions with maps, tables, and diagrams. And then there's also some extra recommended resources. But this is what the contents kind of look like for this Esther one. So like I said, it's a good chunk for each week, but there are some great questions. Let's see, how many pages total is this? 112 for 10 weeks. So that kind of gives you an idea of what the weeks, or how long the weeks are. At first, we have the place of Esther in biblical history. I love how it shows this right here. So we see Esther right here. And then we have an introduction, kind of like the other study, where it's going to talk about different characters in Esther, how to say them, which is nice, a timeline, and then it gives you just a little chunk of the portion of Esther right here, and just talks about the background in history, which is always good to know when you are studying. So we also have some plot and themes, and then how to study. If you're studying in a group setting or individual, how those are going to look different and the same. So this is your first week. So this is your reading plan, week 1 through week 10. There's supplemental reading as well. But this is basically what 1 week of this is going to look like. So you have a little bit of an intro here, and then there's a table of the different feasts seen in Esther. And then we get to the questions, which I really appreciate because they are broken up a little bit more. So we have Portrait of a King with a couple different questions. What is revealed about the king in the following verses? So we can answer that. And then summarization there. Then we have some good maps. So this is kind of reminds me of what a study Bible would be like as we walk through this, except it is in a Bible study format. So it makes it easier, and then you can take a lot of notes and whatnot. So we're going to talk about different sections of this Esther portion. And the maps are always helpful, little tables of information on the sides. And then we have some other verses we can read. But like I said, it's easy to break these up because they are in different sections. I'm not sure if each week is broken up into 6 sections plus Let's Talk. Let me double check that real quick. That would be helpful to know, because then you'd have like 6 sections. Okay, this one's 5. And then Let's Talk. So I guess it kind of changes, but it makes it easier to break that up in case, you're doing a couple times or trying to break it up throughout your week. So anyways, this is kind of the overview of what it looks like. It is definitely different than Meet Me in the Bible, just split up differently with some application questions. So both of them are excellent choices. They're just going to be a little bit different. So this is 10 weeks. Meet Me in the Bible is 8 weeks. Meet Me in the Bible is going to have those same questions that you answer week by week, like the observe and the interpret and apply. This one's going to have different questions that are application questions to answer at the end of each week. Both of these are excellent options for group study, but also individual as well. If you want to see me work through one of these weeks, I would be happy to do so. I'm actually very excited to get into this and start working through this myself. So I would be happy to do that for you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye, guys.